How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its New Year's sale. A lot of good stuff discounted. You guys know the drill. We already did deals under $5, under 10. There's probably more stuff we could look at as far as under 10 and under 5 goes, but in this video, we'll be highlighting some deals under the price of $20, and when we're hitting this price threshold, always some new stuff to cover. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. So let's get right into it, and let's kick things off with Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition. Now, I have a lot of opinions on Final Fantasy 15, which, by the way, this game is available on PlayStation Plus Extra if you do have that. You know, while I have my opinions on FF15, my disappointment towards this game probably is tied to the fact that I was excited for Final Fantasy 15 for legitimately 10 years, going back to its initial reveal as Versus 13, and when it ultimately came out, I was really looking for a compelling narrative, and I feel like that's the element that Final Fantasy 15 really fumbled at. However, the Royal Edition and the updates that it makes does tie the narrative together a little bit better, and on top of that, if you do watch Kingsglaive, that does help. That's a movie. But the best part about Final Fantasy 15 is obviously the excellent open world. The visuals are fantastic, even with this game being damn near 8 years old, 7 years old at this point. Came out in fall of 2016. It still looks fantastic, runs really well on PlayStation 5 as well. For 14 bucks, I think this is a pretty good buy. I would definitely check it out. Resident Evil Village Gold Edition is 60% off for $19.99. I think Resident Evil Village is absolutely fantastic. You know, Resident Evil has been super consistent since really Resident Evil Biohazard and, you know, all the remakes, and Resident Evil Village was really good in its own right. Now, I would recommend you to play Biohazard before you jump into Village. It's an incredibly compelling and atmospheric survival horror game. Not super lengthy, that's generally what you expect out of a Resident Evil game, but it is replayable as well. You know, it's one of those games that when it came out, I initially played it like back-to-back twice. Did 2 playthroughs right away and had a really good time with it. VR2 component is there as well, and of course this is the Gold Edition that includes the Winter's Expansion, so that's quite nice. A good value pickup for $19.99. Next up, we have Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, 60% off for $19.99. This includes Uncharted 4 and Uncharted Lost Legacy. Loved Uncharted 4. I know some people weren't crazy about some of the narrative elements. The inclusion of Sam was a little bit out of nowhere, but overall, I still did really enjoy the game. I thought Uncharted 4 from a pacing standpoint was pretty good. I thought the story overall had twists and turns that were interesting, and you did have a pretty good antagonist in there as well. A little bit lengthier than some of the other Uncharted games, but overall, really enjoyed Uncharted. And at this point, like, Uncharted for a while, late 2000s into the 2010s, it was the PlayStation IP that everybody gravitated towards and was the iconic PlayStation IP. Nowadays, it's more so God of War as well as Last of Us. God of War has always been around, and Uncharted has lost a lot of cachet, but that's really because there hasn't been a new game since Uncharted Lost Legacy. If they decide to go back and do another Uncharted game, I'm sure the IP can be revitalized pretty easily, although Uncharted 4 at Thieves End does tie up Nathan Drake's story pretty well. Just had a great time with it. Game is excellent, and I would strongly recommend it, but obviously play Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 first. You don't have to, but I would highly recommend it. Next up, we got the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Look, I'm a homer for Skyrim. I think Skyrim is absolutely fantastic, and they sold this game to me like 84 times over the span of the last 13 years, and guess what? I bought it every damn time, and given the amount of hours I got out of Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, it was money well spent in my opinion. I just love the fantasy setting, and Skyrim is the Bethesda game that I gravitate more so towards, and it was really Bethesda at its absolute peak. If you haven't played Skyrim for whatever reason, or maybe you played it back on the PlayStation 3 where it wasn't the greatest game in the world, like, let's be real, the PS3 version of Skyrim is what I initially played, and I still enjoyed the game immensely, but man, that game on PS3 was a buggy mess. Performance wasn't great. On PS5, much better, and Anniversary Edition for 20 bucks I think is pretty good. Next up, we got Metal Gear Solid 5, The Definitive Experience, 40% off for $11.99. Now, you guys might have noticed that this game's price point has appreciated. My speculation for the reasoning of this is because Konami is going to drop Metal Gear Solid, The Definitive Saga or whatever. The Master Collection Volume 2 is what they're calling it, Master Collection, and MGS5 is reported to be in there. I imagine they don't want to lessen the value of Metal Gear Solid 5 prior to the release of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2. That's generally how these things work, and I've seen that happen before. Nonetheless, MGS5 is absolutely awesome. Really enjoyed it. I know that there was a lot of drama, a lot of controversy. You know, Konami and Kojima was a pretty storied topic back in 2015. But man, if you assess MGS5 for what it is, it's an excellent open-world action stealth experience with a lot of content, and the story is pretty good. It's just told in a different way with the utilization of all these cassette tapes and whatnot. I still thought the game was fantastic, and I would give it a strong recommendation at $12. I think it's a great pickup. Next up, we got Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5. A lot of content here for $19.99. This gets you Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts Ray Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and a bunch of other, like, cutscene contents and things of that nature. Kingdom Hearts is a very, very arduous franchise to get into, given all of the pieces of content you have to consume to really understand the story, and even with all that, Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of goes off the rails, but man, it's still a fun time. Kingdom Hearts 1 absolutely shows its age, but Kingdom Hearts 2 I still think is a fantastic game, and I want to do another playthrough of Kingdom Hearts at some point. You know, Kingdom Hearts is one of those franchises, I think, for a lot of you guys that grew up with it. It's one of those series that you'll go back to, you know, every 6-7 years, and you'll play through some of it. Maybe you won't finish the entire series, and then you'll revisit it again a couple of years after that. It's a franchise that has a special place in my heart, and I know for a lot of you guys as well. Whether you're checking the games out for the first time, or you're doing another playthrough of them, 1.5 and 2.5 is a pretty good pickup. It is available on Plus Extra. Next up, we have Chained Echoes, which is down to $19.99, $18.74 if you are a Plus subscriber. A really, really good throwback JRPG, a great story, throwback gameplay, but at the same time modernized a little bit to make it more accessible to a 2023 audience. And a great art style as well, very much a throwback in that regard as well. $18.74. I think that's a pretty good buy. Good bit of content. It was done by a very, very small team, maybe even one person. I forget the exact specifics, but Chained Echoes was really, really well done, and I would strongly recommend it. Next up, we have Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reload, 60% off for $15.99. You guys know me. I love me some Danganronpa. I think it's fantastic. Danganronpa 1 and 2 were both great games. I would say that Danganronpa 2 had the better story than the first one. But the first one was great as well. You give the first game like 30 to 45 minutes and it'll absolutely hook you. Great soundtrack to these games as well, and so many twists and turns, and just how they weave the story together is just really, really well done. For $16, I think Danganronpa 1 and 2 is great buy. You're getting two games here, both probably 18 to 24 hours, like around that range, and for $16, again, great pickup here. Gravity Rush Remastered, 50% off for $14.99. This is a PlayStation Vita port, or I should say a PlayStation 4 port of the PlayStation Vita game. Gravity Rush 2, obviously designed ground up for the PS4. Gravity Rush is awesome, and it's a franchise that unfortunately does not get more love. Awesome art style, awesome main character, great aesthetics, interesting and unique gameplay. $15 is a great price for it. Yes, it's a kind of pricey, I guess, but it's just so good, and I strongly recommend it. I hope someday, Sony goes back to Gravity Rush as a franchise. I hear it's getting a movie. We'll see how that turns out. Maybe it'll revitalize the IP a little bit, but man, it's so good and so underrated that just deserves more love, and anytime I can mention it in these deals video, you're damn right I'm going to take that opportunity. Next up, we got Digimon Survive, 67% off for $19.79. Digimon Survive is more of a visual novel than it is like a game, or much like Danganronpa. Now, Digimon Survive does have this tactics gameplay baked into it, but it's a very small portion of the game. You're getting into this game for the storytelling, and if you're a Digimon fan, you'll probably enjoy it. It's a little bit more of a darker tone for a Digimon game, a little bit more mature in storytelling, but it's Digimon at the end of the day, so keep your expectations in line. I think for $19.79, this is pretty good. As long as you're into visual novels and story-driven games, you'll enjoy it quite a bit. And lastly, we got Lost Judgment. It is 70% off for $17.99. You guys know me when it comes to RGG. I'm gonna, recommend their games ad nauseum, even if I'm not crazy about the Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth New Game Plus nonsense. Lost Judgment is a fantastic game. Obviously, go play the first Judgment. This is a direct sequel, and Judgment's kind of its own self-contained story, and Judgment's kind of been like that, where it's these arcs that are told in these stories. And Judgment's been kind of like that, where you get a complete experience with each game, although we only have 2 games at this point. Hopefully we do get a Judgment 3, but for now, Lost Judgment's a great pickup, and $18 for it is a great deal. That is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great stuff available as a part of the New Year's sale, New Year's new game sale, I believe it's called. Check them out, under $20. Links to everything in the description box below. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.